Hello, delegators. Welcome to another live stream with TitanNode, the #1 place to delegate your stake. Today, we're going to be talking about should I video mine on Livepeer? So, if you're watching this video, chances are you've come across Livepeer and you want to know if you should video mine. What is video mining and how much money you can make and contribute your resources. So, thanks again for watching. If you've seen a live stream before, throw a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. But today we're going to be talking about what exactly is video mining, how to get started, and whether it's worth it for you. So let's just get started. The first question I have, usually showing up in Discord, Telegram, are things like, how does video mining work? Okay, so I will definitely go through this. Just before we get started, though, I do want to quickly go through the regular introduction of what's new in the Livepeer ecosystem. So I will quickly minimize my screen here, and we'll just kind of go over the general topics of what's new in the ecosystem and how orchestrators are getting paid out. So currently Livepeer is sitting at $29, which is great. What's really interesting is we have some great steady transcoding work coming into the ecosystem. This has been steady since end of August, and we've been sitting around about 2 million, just over 2 million minutes transcoded every week for the last couple months. So nice steady work coming in. And then as well as our fees, there was a bit of a spike here, obviously $25,000 in a week, but pretty steady across the board. Which is really nice if you're a video miner or you're considering doing video mining, is that you get paid by actual customers for doing this. So yeah, so we can see that there's growth here and things are coming together. As for the Web3 index, Livepeer is number 2 in the Web3 ecosystem for total revenue generated, just under Aweave. We are above Filecoin in the graph at this point, and hopefully we can keep that going. So if you are interested in doing video mining or being a part of a Web3 protocol where you can earn interest or money or provide resources and get value, then Livepeer would be, I guess, number 2, in my opinion, number 1 for providing resources. So that's really cool. And then TitanNode's obviously backend dashboard. You're only going to see this if you are subscribed to this channel, and we can see how much transcoding we're doing lately. And currently we have about 11 sessions here, 12 in Europe, and continuing on. We did win 2 winning tickets here. I had to restart it because of fast verification problems. So we had 2 winning tickets at 0.18 ETH each. So 0.34 ETH was earned in about 2 days. So some good payouts there. And that's from this transcoder that's running in the US, which has 2 1070 GPUs connected to it, right? So 2 GPUs was able to earn 2 winning tickets just in a couple days. So let's just jump right into the topic of this video. Should I video mine on Livepeer? And so what I have here is the Livepeer Academy. And this is where you're going to learn everything you need to know about Livepeer, whether you want to be an orchestrator, a delegator, a broadcaster, and I'm using all these terms, it's hard to keep up. So today I'm just going to focus on the orchestrator. Now, what is an orchestrator? An orchestrator is a node that works in the Livepeer ecosystem to do transcoding work, right? Transcoding is simply taking inputs as video, decoding them into raw formatted video, and re-encoding them into different pixel rates, different bit rate videos, right? So when you're watching YouTube or you're watching this live stream, you're going to see a 1080p version, but you're also going to see a 720, a 480p, and like a 320p, even 144 I think there is on Twitch, right? So these are all different bit rates that need to be transcoded in real time, and that's what Livepeer does. So what tends to be really good at transcoding is GPUs. So if you're an ETH miner or you have a gaming computer, you can supply your GPU to Livepeer and earn money, right? Now, the amount you're going to make is variable, right? And today we're just going to talk about, what systems can use GPUs. Like if you have, I get this question a lot. I get people coming in and saying, I have one GPU, how much money can I make? And then I have somebody that comes in and says they have 40 GPUs because they run an ETH mining operation. And those are two very different kind of people that are looking to join. The nice thing is Livepeer does utilize like both those kinds of people. It's definitely profitable for both. Although I would say it's probably more profitable for the person with the single GPU at this time, just because they're not looking at that scale yet. Whereas like 40 GPUs is like insane, right? So how mining works, you join the network, right? And if we go to the Explorer, you join the Livepeer network as an orchestrator. You can see here that there's only 100 orchestrators allowed on the Livepeer network. You earn ETH fees for doing transcoding work. So we can see here we got varies is up to 14.4 ETH earned, or 8 ETH here. If we scroll on through, Titan node sitting at about 2.5 ETH earned so far, right? So not only is there like this LPT token, but there's actually paying customers paying ETH for transcoding. And that's kind of our goal, right? That's what all this transcoding work here is. This is getting paid for doing transcoding services with your GPU, okay? So then the next question is, what are the requirements to become a transcoder? And this one is interesting because it's not like ETH mining. There's like a whole different set of criteria that make you a good transcoder, right? You have to have a really good internet. You have to have an understanding of how networks or systems work. You have to be patient. You have to be located in the world where there's somebody nearby that needs the transcoding work, right? So if you're in Europe right now, there is a lot of transcoding work in Europe. And you're probably going to make the most fees in that area. If you're in North America, you're going to make some decent fees, but not as much. But if you're in a place like South America or Southeast Asia, there hasn't been so much demand for transcoding yet. So that area is probably going to be less, you're going to make probably less money per GPU just because there's not as much work in that area. So unlike ETH mining and Bitcoin mining, like location matters, right? So we have to keep those things in mind. So what are the requirements? First, let's just look at the Livepeer Academy, and let's go to resources. And there's a whole bunch of things. If you haven't seen the Livepeer Academy before, please go to it, check it out. But under tools and links, this is a nice little feature that's been added, and it just gives you like, it's a list of links that help you understand how much transcoding work you can do with your GPUs. So if we go down here, obviously we get the Livepeer Explorer and different links. I'm going to start with the benchmarking. The benchmarking tools are going to allow you to figure out how much you can do for actual transcoding work, so how much money you can make. Actually, before I go to that, I want to quickly go to the LPT token, because there is a profit calculator. So this is by a third-party person. I don't know who made this. This is before I joined Livepeer, so I don't know how accurate it is. But this is an Orchestrator profit calculator. If we go ahead and click that, we will be bringing to this this Excel sheet in Google Drive where you can put in all your information. So are you going to buy and host? How many streams do you think you'll get? How much stake you have? You can enter in all this information. At the bottom, total costs. It'll give you a cost breakdown of how much money you're spending on your GPUs and what type of return you're looking to get. It talks about revenue and inflation, how much money you're going to earn from inflationary token rewards. Transcoding revenue, how much you're going to make from transcoding based on streams, pixel rates. All of this information probably could just be asked in Discord, just the type of sessions and streams you'll get. And then at the end, you have this like total profit area. So again, This is like a really rough estimate. People really like this idea of a profit calculator. So it is here, but it may not be like the most accurate because there's just a lot of factors, right? Like your internet bandwidth, for instance. I really don't recommend anyone to join Livepeer unless they have a fiber connection. At the end of the day, like you could be on coax, but if you're only getting 6 megabits a second upload speed, that's only good for one stream. And one stream is usually about, the average GPU can handle about 20 streams, right? So you're using 1/20th of one GPU because your internet is too slow, right? So you can check out this link and see how much profit you will make as an orchestrator. The next thing you have to do is benchmarking. Now, not all GPUs can transcode, right? So you have to ask yourself, what GPUs are you looking to do? There is the NVIDIA GPU matrix. This is going to tell you which GPUs have encoding and decoding chips on them, right? So you can go in here and click down. For encoding, you can see that they go quite far back, right down to a GTX 745, which is a very old GPU. I wouldn't recommend any of these though. Obviously, we have down here, we run a lot of GTX 1070s, right? So they have 2 encoding chips, and if you scroll all the way down to decoding, they have a 1 decoding chip. So it means 1 chip can decode as it comes in, and 2 chips can encode as it heads out. And you can see, as long as the GPU you're using is on this list and has encoding and decoding chips, then you're good to go. You have a GPU that is capable of running on Livepeer. Now, also mention that GPUs only by NVIDIA run on Livepeer. So only CPU transcoding or NVIDIA GPUs. AMD is not, there's no compatibility with it, right? So check out this matrix, make sure that your GPU is available. The next thing you're gonna look at is this amazing hardware transcoding cheat sheet. Who doesn't like a cheat sheet? The cheat sheet tells you, based on the GPU you have, how many sessions it can do. Now you can obviously benchmark your own, but I found this to be actually quite accurate. So if we head over to the 1070, which I recommend, I think a lot of people ask me this, it can do about 22 streams, right? And like a lot of these GPUs can do about 22 streams, and they don't seem to go up a whole lot more effectively as they get more expensive, right? Price doesn't just mean the amount of GPU power it has. So definitely make sure that you are picking a GPU that's right for you, or if you already have one. But for instance, like this RTX 5000, it can do 48 streams. So it's clearly a really good transcoding unit, right? But I think they're also about $2,400, right? So if you were to go out and buy a $2,400 GPU, you can do about 48 streams. But yet a 1070 can do 22, and I think you can buy them used for about $400. So by the time you spend $2,400, you could buy 4 or 5 of these 1070s and be doing 88 streams, right? So there's a bit of a cost weight analysis you have to do. The higher the quality the GPU, although you're going to get higher quality streams that come out of it for the end user, which is really great. But if you're looking just for revenue base, you're going to want to pick that GPU that has the most amount of capable streams for a good amount of cost. Now, if you already have 40 GPUs that's mining Ethereum, then chances are you're just going to use the GPUs that you have, and you can go ahead and spin those up, right? So anyway, this is a great resource to see how many streams you can do and help you with that calculator, right? So the hardware you're going to need is a GPU that's NVIDIA, see how many sessions it can do, and then you need to calculate how many sessions you can do with your internet, right? So if we pick up our calculator, you can see that it takes 6 megabits per second upload speed to do transcoding. You can get away with like 5 or 4, but 6 is just like over exaggerating how much bandwidth you're going to need. You will probably never ever need more than 6. In fact, sometimes it's like 2, so you could probably even increase it from there. But if we use 6 as the standard, just because that means if you have a fiber internet connection that can do a gigabit per second, which is 1,000 megabits per second, we can divide that by 6, and you can see that on one fiber internet connection at 1 gigabit a second, we can do about 166 streams comfortably, right? So about 166 sessions. And if we look over here, we have a GeForce 1070 that can do 22 streams, right? So 166 divided by 22, and we can do about 7.5 GPUs for that one fiber connection, right? Now, this is over exaggerating because chances are if you have 7 GPUs, then it just comes down to where you're located and how much stake you have. So there's a whole different set of circumstances on how much you can actually earn in real time. But that will give you a guide as to how many GPUs you need for the amount of bandwidth you need. And this is kind of a missing critical point with people that want to join Livepeer. They have 40 GPUs, but yet don't have the bandwidth, right? So there's another component you have to keep in mind. But because of that, you can also earn a lot more than other platforms, in my opinion, right? So that is the requirements you need for launch, for the amount of streams you need, and for the requirements. Now, what GPU works best? Like I said, it all depends on you. I went with the 1070s just because they're inexpensive, do a lot of streams. I've been messing around with a 3090 and a 3080, and those are definitely decent ones. So you just got to figure out what works best for you, right? And then so the last thing I want to cover about joining Livepeer is whether you should become an orchestrator. So whether you should join one of these pools, or one of these, be one of the top 100 orchestrators that are actively earning revenue, right? So this is what an orchestrator backend looks like. I have 4 people in the pool, or 3 people, I should say, and we're transcoding. Depending on what time of day it is, as you can see, it gets up to about 30 streams here and about 25 there. But you can also join a pool, which is really neat. So if we head back to the Livepeer Academy, under resources, there is join a pool button that has been added. If we click that, while I wait for this to load, there we go. You can actually join a pool. And there's 2 pools right now. People can add them as they spin them up. But there's one public pool, and right now the only private pool listed on here is TitanNode, of course. So the public pool is actually livepool.io. Now, if you don't want the hassle of dealing with an orchestrator, so you have to spin up a node, you have to deposit LPT, you have to kind of do some extra things and some extra knowledge to get started, which I have under video tutorials. I have video tutorials on how to do this. You can just join Livepool. It's like really easy to set up. There's like very low barrier to entry, and you can just get started right away. It's a public pool, anyone can join, and I highly recommend joining it. You can just, click on this. It brings you right to their homepage, gives you instructions on how to start, and away you go. The only problem with Livepool, though, is you won't probably get very much work. It's like oversaturated with GPUs because there's so many people that have joined it, and there's just not that much work for just that one orchestrator, right? So if you do join Livepool, just know that your earnings probably won't, at this time, make you a whole lot of income, especially because they do take a bit of a cut. Nico was the one who built this, but if you're interested in just getting your feet wet with Livepeer, I recommend Livepool. So that's livepool.io. Otherwise, you can join a private pool like TitanNodes. You can come here and apply. It's a private pool, so not anyone is allowed in. You have to apply, and to become a transcoder for TitanNode, you need to have fiber internet, GPUs that are good quality. You have to have a basic understanding of networking, and you have to be located somewhere on the planet where we don't already have someone transcoding in that area, and there's demand for it, right? So if you do join a private pool, we have much stricter rules. But that also means that if you do join, then you are left with an area in the world where you can you actually get enough work to make it worthwhile. That's kind of our goal. We don't just allow anyone in. It has to be worthwhile for both the orchestrator as well as the transcoder, right? So those are some options for joining pools. And if this all seems interesting to you, I'd highly recommend checking out joining Livepeer as a video miner, right? So if you have any more questions, please feel free to just check out the Livepeer Academy or ask questions in this channel. I reply to everybody, so please drop a comment below and I will get back to you. So please do that. And just to finish up this video, I'm also going to do some Q&A. I have some questions from let's see, Discord and Telegram. Let's see if we can bring those up here real quick. So as for this first question here, this one is from Discord, and the question is, hello, I want to do video mining. Do you have a video card you recommend? I do have a video card I recommend. It is the GTX 1070, just because it's really inexpensive and you can get started right away, and it does 22 streams, and it's fast and reliable and probably plentiful. So I highly recommend that one. It's probably the easiest to get started. But at the end of the day, any GPU you have that's provided by NVIDIA is going to work. So if you have one of those, just use it. But I wouldn't go out and buy like a 3090 for God knows how much a secondhand one sells for just to transcode. You're probably not going to earn enough revenue to do that. The next question is, my bandwidth on download is 30 megabits a second, upload is 6 megabits a second. Is it possible to mine under these conditions? Technically, yes, you can do one stream. Is it going to be viable? Definitely not. There's also test streams that come through every couple hours. Livepeer Inc. sends test streams to see that your node is operating properly. And if the one test stream completely maxes out the amount of streaming capability you have, then you're not really going to earn any income. So you would need definitely faster internet for that. But thank you for asking. The next question is, at TitanNode, can I connect to your orchestrator? Yes. Please head to titan-node.com and you can apply through the website there. So that would be the way to join the network. The next question is, how much ETH is needed to maintain basic operations? This is a good question. So when you are running Livepeer, you have an initial cost to get into the top 100 orchestrator list. So you need enough ETH to get you in to the top 100 in order to start receiving work. So actually, I'll minimize this here. I'll just bring me back down and I'll show you what I mean. This here is the Protocol Explorer for Livepeer. The way you receive work is you have to be at least on the 100th place. So if we go to the very end, we can see here that you're going to need currently more than 6.4 Livepeer bonded to you in order to get that. So, you know, if we're looking at the Livepeer price, $30 times 6, we do a little math because, you know, I'm not that good. 180 bucks. So $180 US, and you are running and receiving work on Livepeer. Now, as more orchestrators join, the bar to entry continues to increase, which technically gives people more ability to, you know, brings up the quality of the network, because then we don't have people in there that aren't taking it seriously. So currently the barrier to entry is very low. It's only $180. And then how much is it to maintain? As long as you're not, if you're calling reward, daily reward, that costs ETH to do that, to mint new LPT tokens. When the layer 2 solution comes out, this won't be a problem. So when layer 2 comes out, it's called the Confluence upgrade, they'll fix this problem. And then to maintain a orchestrator will be very minimal cost. Currently, the only cost technically is the cost of sending the transaction to redeem your winning ticket. So every time you win a ticket, which is 0.18 ETH currently, it costs gas to do that, right? And gas to do that is about $100. So to redeem an $800 winning ticket costs about $100 in gas currently, which, it's a lot of money in gas, but we have to wait for the layer 2 protocol to come in to fix that. Titan Node wins about a ticket every week or every 2 weeks. So we do spend a few $100s a month on gas just to redeem the tickets. And then if you're calling reward every day, you're going to need a pretty high stake in order to do that until layer 2 comes. So yeah, the costs, are pretty minimal, especially just start low. Just start really, just don't overdo it, and you'll probably do just fine. Can Livepool leverage graphics cards to make money? If so, is it an orchestrator model? So yeah, Livepool is an orchestrator in itself, and then you can just join into their pool, all right? And it's a public pool. So Livepool and other orchestrators have different models on how they operate, but they essentially just do the same thing. They accept streams, transcode it, send it back to the broadcaster, and then earn fees for doing that, right? And then our last question is, I have a GTX 1050 Ti graphics card. How much money will I make as a miner? Well, the 1050, it probably is limited by its VRAM. So you probably can get maybe 12 streams out of it. If it was completely maxed out for a month, I don't know, maybe you'll win a ticket. And if you win a ticket, that's $800. So it just depends. It depends on how much work you get, how much work is in the network. There's just a lot of factors, which is what people really don't want to hear when they join these kind of things. But that's, I think, where the opportunity lies. So if you're interested in spending $180 and taking some risk and want to put in a little bit of effort, you can definitely join Livepeer and do that. So there you go. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and comment down below if you have any questions. I really do appreciate everyone that's here. I'm going to quickly check the YouTube comments and see what we have for questions there. So let me bring this over. And we do. Here we go. Fitty Nichols says, what happens if I'm already transcoding and a test stream comes in? Great question. Yes, so if you're already transcoding streams and a test stream comes in, it just goes on top of that, right? So it's just another stream that only lasts 30 seconds. So if you're sitting at, say, 20 streams, you'll just get one extra stream for 30 extra seconds, and that is your test results, right? So it is not really a big deal. What's unfortunate sometimes is if you're new, you're only going to get test streams because you might be in a bad area, in which case, you're not getting regular work. But that's just something that you either need to be patient or figure out how you can optimize your node to do work faster or earn stake, because the selection process for the streams has a stake weighted selection in it, right? So yeah. If you have regular streams coming, the test streams just come in on top, right? And with Titan Node, we're usually sitting at an average GPU is probably sitting at 15 streams. So if it just gets one extra one, it just goes on top. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. And yeah, we'll end it right there. I really do appreciate everyone who's watching. If you like the video, please hit a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you really want to support Titan Node, the best thing you can do is stake to the Titan Node Orchestrator, right? So you can go to titan-node.com/delegate, and that'll bring you to the page where you can delegate your stake and earn LPT and ETH rewards from delegating to the Titan Node Orchestrator. So there you go. Thanks again for watching, and have yourself a great day.